Hello everybody, this is Dragonzilla1991, and today/tonight, depending on what time it is when you are watching this video, I will be talking about two figures on the Ornithopod Iguanodon, and these two models are made by the companies Collecta and Papo, respectively. Now Iguanodon is not only famous, but also one of the most important species of dinosaur because it was amongst the first to be identified in the Victorian period. It was the second to be named, the first being Megalosaurus the years prior, and the first herbivore to be discovered, which was in 1825. So Iguanodon is now 200 years old, while the real animal is millions of years old. But the popularity and awareness of the gentle giant began 200 years ago. You know what I mean. So I thought that it makes sense that we look at the famous iguana tooth. By the way, it's because Crystal Palace Park has two statues of the dinosaur. Again, I thought it would be suitable to review two figures of the animal that I own, but in this case both models are quite accurate. Well, one of them is scientifically accurate, and the other one isn't. As for Iguanodon itself, well, it lived during the early Cretaceous period, first evolving 126 million years ago, then went extinct 122 million years ago, and it was a European dinosaur native to England, Belgium, Germany and Spain. First up is the Collecta Deluxe Iguanodon, which was originally released in 2018, and this model is truly incredible. I adore the colour scheme, as it does look perfect for this particular dinosaur, and it actually makes me feel very nostalgic, because this is how I would colour in Iguanodon, as well as Stegosaurus. Iguanodon would be light green, and Stegosaurus dark green with red plates. I would show you those old childhood pictures, but they've now become lost in the mists of time. Anyway, his stripes are dark green, and the underbelly is the yellowish colour. And in this colour scheme, the Collecta Iguanodon does remind me a lot of the Iguanodon from the original BBC series of Walking with Dinosaurs. So I wonder if this is meant to be a homage to that depiction of the animal. This dinosaur has scales that appear to be thick and bumpy, so that will make him a non-avian. As far as I'm aware, we don't have any proof/evidence to indicate that Iguanodon had feathers, but we do know that he possessed thumb spikes on his hands that could have been used as either tools to reach or perhaps dig for vegetation, and as weapons to defend himself from predators and rivals. They do look nice on this figure, being all weathered and cracked, as they would have been in life. He has spine-like bumps running across his back, starting from the neck and finishing at the tail. The pose shows him to be walking, and the head is facing left. Speaking of which, the head is my favourite part of the model, and the way that the mouth has been sculpted, he looks as if he is smiling, unlike this miserable bugger. I don't know if it's my imagination or not, but he looks as if he's got a bit of shrink wrapping around his eyes. Well, it should be a bit muscular. Also, one pupil is looking up, and the other forward. I really do like this figure. I'd feel that it's one of Collecta's best, and I even remember when they announced this model in late 2017, I was so happy that it was a deluxe figure and not a little popular. It truly is incredible and shows what Iguanodon would have looked like in life. It was like a reptilian horse, and not a giant colossal iguana as those early illustrations portray it. Collecta did another Iguanodon figure all the way back in 2007, however it's now inferior compared to the new model. This is not just one of Collecta's best dinosaur figures, but it's one of the best Iguanodon models, period. Next up and finally is the second Iguanodon by Papo, and while Collecta's version of the animal appears to be scientifically accurate, the same cannot be said for the Papo model. However, it hasn't stopped the company from making their own interpretation of the dinosaur, but the design of their Iguanodon is very interesting, because some of their past dinosaur figures were based on the dinosaurs from the Jurassic Park franchise, and Iguanodon wasn't introduced to the series until that movie we don't talk about, even though it had appeared in the games prior, albeit in a different prediction altogether. So Papo turned to the most unlikely source for them, which was Disney, and modelled their Iguanodon on the character Aladar from the 2000 movie Disney's Dinosaur. And although the figure is not identical, but we can see the resemblance to him, and you can't really unsee it, because it's clearly Aladar. The colour scheme is very nice, being blue and tan beige this time, and the pose I really don't have a clue on what's going on here. He's either walking awkwardly, or getting ready to take off for a run. He still possesses his iconic thumb spikes, just like his green brother, but here they are smooth, not cracked but still weathered, and the spines on the back are spines, not bump-like formations. Also, you may have noticed at the start of the video, but the Papo Iguanodon is shorter compared to the Collecta Deluxe model. The head is elongated, whereas we saw in the Collecta figure, it wasn't like that in life. And he also has an articulated jaw, but it's quite poor on mine. And the eyes interest me because they kind of remind me of ancient Egyptian paintings, minus the line on the side. From what I can remember, the Iguanodon was always on Papo's radar, however they never came round to it until 2018. But it's here nonetheless. Despite the inaccuracy, I actually do have a soft spot for the Papo Iguanodon, and some folks do say that it's one of their best, at least from what I've heard. So now for size comparisons. Well, this is what the two Iguanodons look like with the Safari Limited Baryonyx that we reviewed not too long ago. The link to that video will be in the description below if you wish to check it out. And this is what they look like with the Collecta Polycanthus. Also here they are with the old Toyway Walking with Dinosaurs Iguanodon and the even older Invictor Iguanodon. I would show them both with my Schleichcarnotaurus, except that's buried somewhere in the collection. So what are my final thoughts on the Collecta and Papo Iguanodon models? If you're a huge enthusiast on Iguanodon like I am, then these figures will be a must-have. But out of the two, I would recommend the Collecta Iguanodon, well at least the 2018 model, over the 2007 figure, which is now inferior compared to this, as I said earlier. As for the Papo Iguanodon, I think if you're a child of the year 2000 and you remember growing up and watching Disney's Dinosaur, then the Papo will be more appealing to you, especially because he bears a striking resemblance to Aladar. However, if you just like Iguanodon in general, then yes, it's still recommendable. This is Dragonzilla 1991 signing out. Take care, thank you all very much for watching, and happy 200th anniversary to Iguanodon. Here's to another 200 years of research and study. See you all next time, and bye for now.